Close your eyes and let your mind drift back across the calm, unbroken stretches of time. Allow the sounds of the present to fade away, replaced by the soft, rhythmic lapping of sea waves against ancient stone. We are traveling back many centuries to a quiet realm bathed in the warm, amber glow of an endless late afternoon. We are visiting the story of the Byzantine Empire, a long, peaceful journey of light, architecture, silk, and memory that spanned over 1,000 serene years. Imagine a narrow strip of shimmering water, where the Sea of Marmara meets the dark blue depth of the Black Sea. This is the Bosporus. Here the air is always soft, carrying the faint, sweet scent of salt, dry cypress wood, and wild lavender growing along the hillsides. Long ago, in the early 4th century, the Roman Emperor Constantine stood upon these grassy shores. He watched the gentle rise and fall of the tides and saw a place of profound stillness and natural beauty. He decided to build a city here, a new sanctuary that would bear his name, Constantinople. Constantine envisioned a city made of sunlight and marble. Under his thoughtful guidance, craftsmen carved stone from distant quarries, shaping smooth columns and wide, calm plazas. They built long, tranquil avenues lined with porticos, where citizens could walk protected from the summer heat, listening to the gentle hum of breezes coming off the sea. At dusk, oil lamps were lit one by one along the marble boulevards, casting soft circles of golden light onto the cobbles. The city was dedicated in the springtime, when the Judas trees were covered in delicate pink blossoms, drifting slowly through the peaceful streets. For generation after generation, the city grew quietly, resting between Europe and Asia like a pearl set in blue velvet. Huge, friendly walls, known as the Theodosian walls, were built to surround the landward side. These were not walls of harshness, but of calm protection. Constructed with layered bands of red brick and pale stone, they stretched across the green hills, covered in trailing ivy and wild vines. Inside these walls, life moved at an unhurried, comfortable pace. Centuries passed like the soft turning of pages in a heavy, forgotten book. In the 6th century, an emperor named Justinian sat upon the throne alongside his wise companion, Empress Theodora. They were lovers of beauty, order, and geometry. Justinian wished to build a great hall of peace, a space so vast and light that anyone entering it would instantly feel their heart grow quiet and settled. This was the Hagia Sophia, the Church of Holy Wisdom. Imagine standing inside this great building on a quiet, cool morning. High above you, a vast circular dome floats like the sky itself, lined with millions of tiny glass tiles covered in real gold leaf. Around the base of the dome are 40 arch windows. As the sun rises over the sea, sunlight streams through these windows, catching the dust motes as they float lazily through the air. The light hits the golden mosaics, scattering a soft, warm radiance throughout the enormous stone room. Beneath your feet, slabs of marble from green, purple, and white quarries resemble gentle, frozen waves of seawater. The acoustics are so deep and gentle that even a whisper echoes like a calm, low chant, resting peacefully in the high arches. In the world of Byzantium, arts and crafts were practiced with infinite patience. In quiet workshops tucked away in sunny courtyards, artisans practiced the art of silk weaving. The secret of silk had come to the city along quiet trade routes from the east, brought by humble travelers carrying silkworm eggs hidden inside hollow bamboo walking sticks. The Byzantines nurtured these silkworms, feeding them fresh mulberry leaves gathered from lush gardens. Soon the looms of Constantinople were producing fabrics of soft weight, heavy damasks, delicate brocades, and silks dyed in shades of deep indigo, soft sage green, and rich glowing purple. When worn, these garments moved with a whisper, whispering of calm, effortless elegance. Outside the city, across the rolling hills of Anatolia and the green vales of Greece, rural life flowed with the steady rhythm of the seasons. Farmers tended to ancient olive groves, where gray-green leaves turned silvery in the wind. They harvested figs that were sweet and soft as honey, laying them out on reed mats to dry under a warm, patient sun. In quiet monasteries tucked into steep mountain valleys or perched on high granite rocks, monks worked in cool scriptoria. These monks spent their days in sweet, meditative silence. With slender reed pens, they painstakingly copied ancient Greek texts, philosophy, poetry, and sacred scriptures onto smooth sheets of vellum. The only sound in these stone rooms was the soft scrape of the quill and the rustle of turning pages. Because of their quiet diligence, the wisdom of the ancient world was kept safe, sleeping peacefully through the ages on dark wooden shelves, waiting for future generations to awaken it. The Byzantine Empire was a tapestry woven from time itself. Decades drifted into centuries without rush or hurry. The empire experienced seasons of expansion and seasons of quiet retreat, much like the breathing of a long, peaceful sleep. Emperors and empresses came and went, leaving behind silver coins, quiet gardens, and marble fountains that trickled cool water into shaded basins day and night. In the Middle Centuries, the art of the icon reached its highest, most serene form. Painters mixed egg yolk with earth pigments, ochre, lapis lazuli, cinnabar, and terracotta, to create soft, glowing images on panels of scented cedar and lindenwood. These painted figures had large, quiet eyes that looked out at the viewer with unconditional calm and tenderness. They were painted not to startle or impress, but to provide a quiet focus for reflection, a candle flame in a dark room that invited stillness. As the centuries grew long, Constantinople remained a place of gentle light. In the harbors, wooden ships with soft white sails rocked gently against the stone quays. They brought spices from distant lands, cinnamon, cardamom, and sweet resin that mingled with the local air, creating a soft, warm fragrance that hung over the water. Fishermen sat on the wooden piers, mending their nets in the late afternoon sun, watching gulls circle slowly against the pale blue sky. Eventually, as all long days slowly give way to the evening, the Byzantine Empire began its quiet twilight. It was not a sudden end, but a slow, graceful silvering, like an ancient tree that has lived through 1,000 autumns, comfortably shedding its leaves as winter approaches. Over time, the lands of the empire grew smaller, softly curling inward, until the empire was largely the great city itself, a quiet sanctuary of gardens, grand old churches, and historic monuments resting peacefully within its ancient walls. The city adapted to its twilight with quiet dignity. The grand avenues became peaceful, grassy paths running between majestic stone ruins covered in soft moss. People planted small vegetable patches and fragrant rose gardens beside ancient marble pillars. The great stone palaces, once bustling with courtly life, grew quiet, filled only with the sound of evening breezes moving through high windows and the cooing of doves resting in the rafters. In the mid-15th century, in the year 1453, the final chapter of Byzantium was written. The city passed gently into new hands, turning a final peaceful page in its long book. The magnificent walls, having fulfilled their purpose for over 1,000 years, looked down as the old realm quietly yielded to a new morning. The Hagia Sophia remained standing, its great golden dome continuing to catch the early morning light, just as it always had, protecting its quiet warmth beneath the same wide blue sky. The story of Byzantium is not a story of endings, but of preservation and quiet continuation. The knowledge the scribes preserved, the beauty the artists painted, and the architecture the masons built drifted softly outward into the rest of the world, like seeds carried on a gentle evening air, helping to awaken new flowers in distant lands. Now, as we look back upon this long, golden story, everything is still. The grand city of Constantinople slumbers peacefully in the midst of history. The Bosporus continues its gentle, endless conversation with the shore, lapping softly against the old marble piers. The wind sighs gently through the branches of the cypress trees, carrying the warmth of the day away into the cool, quiet night. All the emperors, the weavers, the monks, and the sailors are at rest. The great golden dome of Hagia Sophia rests under a canopy of clear, silent stars. The ink on the ancient manuscripts is dry and soft. The silk looms are still. Everything is at peace, settled in the quiet, comforting embrace of time. Feel the slow, steady rhythm of your own breath, matching the calm, eternal rise and fall of the sea waves along those ancient walls. There is nothing left to do tonight, nowhere else to travel. The story is complete, safe, and quietly resting. Let the gentle warmth of the golden mosaics fill your mind, soft and comforting, as you drift deeper and deeper into a restful, dreamless sleep. Rest now, quiet and serene, beneath the peaceful starlit sky of history.